Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. I hope you can all see me well and see my screen. Let me know in the chat if you can see my screen. Let me fix a few things here and we'll start momentarily. Hopefully everything is fine with the sound and okay, cool. All right. So would be great if you say hello to the chat. Hi Christian, hi Chance. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate that you are joining so we can draw this this portrait. So first things first, I am actually streaming from Germany, where I'm located. If you wanna let me know also in the chat where are you joining, that would be great. And in the meantime, I can just explain a little bit what you see in the screen. So here I'm using Krita for this portrait, and I gathered a few references. Here on the right, I have some inspiration references from other artists. I think this one is from Lois. Let me check the other two. I think this this middle one is from Weathertone, this one, and the other one is let me quickly check my notes from where it is. I cannot find it now.
They're watching us from Spain and Indiana in the United States.
Cool. Thanks so much. Wow, from the completely different sides of the world. That's really cool. And I think, let me see. This one is by Radic. I really don't know all the artists here. Like these two, I just took them as inspiration. But anyways, the whole idea is not to actually copy them, but just inspired from them and create something on our own. And the theme today is based on these references. On this reference on the left of my screen. I don't know how it is for you. Maybe it's the opposite way. On the left, then we can combine this one with the references above, which are, I have another two artists here. I think it's Lord Greece and from Lord Greece, both of them, I think. I really like his style, so I just gather them like a mini inspirational board, and I'll explain here on the left what is it. But before we go there, I just wanted to talk about a little bit about these references. So I chose the theme of the pumpkin for this portrait. So went out and did a little bit of research and found some few photos of pumpkins and pumpkin leaves and flowers to help me. And then finally I did some let's say work here and created a kind of a thumbnail of what I want to create based on this reference on the left, so it can help me along the way on what I want to draw. So the final result, I will try to combine in such a way the different references we have. Of course, the whole point is not to just make the portrait the same, right, but create a stylized magical portrait based on the pose and the different places of reference. So I can show you a little bit quickly what different steps I did for pre-processing. I just did some very, very, very rough sketches, right? Like how I can imagine the actual pose, and then put some photo busing on top with different references just to see how they look. And we ended up in different results each time, just exploring. So the first result we had was something like that, which had two pumpkins, effectively. Then the other one was that's pretty similar. Then the other one is more closer to the thumbnail, and then we had also some other different styles of hair, for example, or even a different pose, because I was using another reference also at the same time, trying to explore different ideas here and so on. Eventually, I ended up in this one, and I think that's a very good one to continue with. Then I did some pre-processed sketches, for example, this one, or even this one, more stylized. This one, or even this one at the end here. So based on all this, I think we can you can understand a little bit how the process goes into figuring out different ideas, right? And how we can end up in such a thumbnail. So based on all that, now we can just start a little bit sketching here, and hopefully today we could be done with the sketch. That would be my, let's say, wishful thinking and goal for today. Hopefully, if not, then let's see if I would use some of my pre-sketches to actually pretty much skip some of the phases so it can be faster. So let's start drawing. You're welcome also to follow.
And ask questions.
Sorry?
And ask questions.
And ask questions in the chat, of course. My lovely wife here is following up on the chat. So if you have any questions, and welcome also from India, let me know in the chat and I'll try to stop and answer them. All right. So the whole idea with sketching portraits, right, is just trying to, depends on where you want to go. Here, I chose to go a little bit more stylized, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to do any measurements. We'll try to start measuring the top of the head and the bottom of the head, and then I will usually draw this kind of lines in order to see how close I am, and then correct my different measurements, so I can be closer to the actual measurements of the reference. And as you can see here, the measurements I have is both the top and the bottom, and then I'm trying to measure a little bit where the eyebrow line is. This helps me take some first measurements on the portrait. So it's here. I was almost correct here. Then we measure the nose. I think it's somewhere around here. Oops. It's a little bit lower, the tip. And then the mouth seems to be very close. Even a little bit higher. And this now doesn't have anything to do with actual perspective or where the head is, but just some kind of measurements where we want to end up. And then I'll try to do a circle, right, in order to represent the cranium. Oops. As best as I can. It's not my day today for circles. And then let's try to correct it a little bit, be more like a circle. All right. And the whole idea is now to find the center line, which if you see, like if you start from here, then you see it passes through, it should pass through the middle of the eyebrows, the two eyebrows, and then down to the chin, right? So I'm trying to replicate this line here. And then I have this center line, and then I measure like where would the head actually turn. So if we see we have like this kind of area here maybe. And this is where I would cut the circle. So it should come like down here a little bit, right? Because the way that the circle gets cut is like in this area here. And of course, there should be a cut here because we see already here. Now at this phase, there is no need to worry about having good lines or bad lines or this kind of stuff. We will just, this is a structure base for our sketch, and it doesn't matter if it's really in terms of line art, good line art. But of course, we don't want to have the situation, right? We have too many lines and we don't know what to choose after. And still continue to have measurements. Here we are wrong, for example, here it should stop, right? At this one, just approximate different things and try to see where you should cut. The other thing is, we said this is the eyebrow line, but we haven't really taken into account the perspective, right? So we have a straight line from this, pretty much from this curve here, kind of a straight line, and then the perspective is not straight. So if I draw a straight line here, as you see, like it doesn't meet the other eyebrow, right? So I need to push the perspective towards down, and let's try this line and measure here where we are. I think we are way too low, so I think we should do it a little bit, change the angle here and try this one. I think we are almost there. And of course I'm keep drawing lines, right, to see where I am, and I think we are good here on this area. But I think this line is way higher, because if you see here skull here is just taking a turn here, so our circle here, it should be lower. So we are incorrect here, for example. So what we should do is make corrections already. Now we know this is like around here. And that's why the circle at the start is just a starting point, right? And not indicating the final result. I think we are pretty close here, okay? But I think this line is way much more, let's say, wide compared to her face. So I think I will just push it a little bit there. down, and I'll come and correct all the stuff. So we have now the nose, and the nose should follow exactly the same perspective as this one above. And what do I measure about the nose, right? I am measuring the two ends based on the perspective we have. So I'm measuring this end, which is not seen, and it seems to be higher, and this end, right? So the whole nose seems to be higher compared to the tip, which is kind of here. So that should be the perspective of the nose, and then we have the mouth, which this side should be higher and this side should be lower. Let's try it out. This side is a little bit higher, so we should have something like this. And compared to the edge of the nose, this one is far, so it should be somewhere here, right? If this was the end of the nose, the mouth should end up here. So let's see, okay, we are almost there, and this is like almost here. So we could just have this. So now this side, we're just gonna replicate this curve here. We know it comes a little bit down compared to the eyebrows, and then comes here like that. And it's almost to the side of the mouth, and this should be like this. We have this, and the chin should be the same perspective, but we are far away from the chin. Let's just push it a little bit upper, right? We're still measuring. I think this is like smaller, and then we have this kind of line like this. What I'm doing usually is I'm gonna actually ghost here and then come here and do the same, and then I see it goes up like that, and I'm imagining a line going like the end of the ear downwards, right? So it starts from this and goes downwards. So let's see if we are correct here. There is an angle here, okay, it's a little bit lower. There is a second angle here, a little bit towards the neck, maybe around here. This is more like like the head, kind of. I still think it's like way to the side, so maybe let's just try another angle. Usually this will help us, and try to push a little bit the lines, all the lines more inwards, and let's just measure it here. This one, okay, this is far more down, and then bring this one. Let's see how this one is. I think it's even higher. Everything now is relative because like we're just drawing a bunch of lines right at the moment, right? It's not, they are not representative of the features, so even if you are a little bit off, it's no problem, as long as you are just in the good ballpark of the stuff. So this is the line here. Of course, here we have the ear. So the ear is a little bit higher, is a little bit lower than the eyebrow. You see this eyebrow? So it should start somewhere here and it should end somewhere there. So let's try it out like this. and see where we are. Okay, spot on, right? And a little bit lower here. So maybe we should try now her shoulders. So her shoulders starts a little bit higher than the nose, the tip of the nose, so somewhere around here, then goes like this. And then there is a line here.
You have a message from Lucien. Hi from Netherlands, but currently in France on a bad connection. Sorry to hear that.
Hi from Germany then, and still the connection is good. We don't know. We know that it's gonna rain at 6, so maybe the connection will be bad then. So and then it's ending somewhere here. I don't think there is any reason at the moment to just do too much stuff in terms of details. Like you see, there is a curve here, here arm. I think that's good enough for the moment. Then we have this line somewhere here. Let's just measure if I did it correctly. Yeah, I think this is correct. And if you go up, then it should just cross a little bit here, right? Like this. I think that's good enough. Then we have her neck starting effectively a little bit from the ear, right? Then goes down like that. And then it's just ending up here. So I'm just making lines that will be a little bit less bold, just to see if we are in the right ballpark. A little bit higher, because there is a curve. And then it's almost like straight. Let's see this corner. Yeah, I think we are okay. I think in terms of ballpark, what we can do is also check like if we are a little bit the perspective here, just pushing it a little bit higher. And let's see. Let's just do some measurements. I think we are okay.
Lucien also asked if they can replay this afterwards.
Yeah, will be available for replay afterwards. So no worries, guys, on that.
Also, sorry if I'm pronouncing the names wrong.
Which names?
Nepturnal Harian says, I made it. I wanted to draw along, but my tablet is charging at the moment. I'll just enjoy the art in the meanwhile.
All right, cool.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining. So here, here chest, right, is like almost under this this neck muscle here. So I think it should be okay. And the corner, we are almost okay. I don't think there is any reason to just go into too much details at the moment on this stuff. Just do some indications, right? We have exactly the same perspective here, as you see, as the shoulders here. So if we use the same perspective, we should be able to just be in the right spot, right? A little bit higher. And then just do this indication of here test. So this, I think at this moment we have a good structure to continue. I think still the head is a little bit because this one is this angle here, it should be a little bit like that, right? And that means the head most probably is a little bit too wide still. I will just do it like this and try to see what's going on. Let's just come here to the head and try to do some more indications and try to see where we can do corrections here, right? So here is the hairline here. So if I draw this, we are almost there. And then here it's just creating a curve. Let's see if we are, so this is a little bit higher, the curve. So the whole idea is to try to match here head shape, right? In order to be closer a little bit to hair resemblance. For example, here on the ear, from what I see, the ear is starting on the neck and going like way out, so I can just correct that, and at the same time try to hit some of the angles of the ear, right? So we have this angle a little bit. Let's see if we are close enough. Yes, we are close. And then we have here head coming right through like this. And this is where this plane changes, and we are kind of a little bit higher, right? And then we have this plane changing here. It's subtle, but you can actually see it if you wanna follow up the Azaro head for the people that have heard of it. If you haven't heard of it, it's a head that many artists are using to actually study the head, right? And then we're doing almost the same here. We're just creating different planes and just using more lines that are straight instead of curved, just to define the different planes. And this one is a little bit lower because I'm aiming for this line here, right? So I'm just doing corrections. And now I think this line should be a little bit more in, because this is where this plane ends here. So if yeah, exactly, this is where this plane ends. And that means if I draw a line here, this is where here the eyebrow should be. So this is where the eyebrow is. Okay, we are higher here. So I think it should be something more like that, this line. So we have this, yeah. Right, this is like that. So let's correct the other lines also at the same time. Let's see if we are here correct. And here, I think the whole mouth should be a little bit higher. Okay. And here, let's see, this one should be like this. And also the straight line, now everything has to be moved more correctly. So we have this. And this should be more like this. Alright, so this is the smallest side here, and then there is another side here, right? Which is curved. And I think we are ready to kind of, you can either lower now the opacity, or you can I don't know, if you have like a smart brush, like a eraser that you can have with opacity on your programs, and then just go through it, right? And just start drawing on top of it and making more details, which I will do now. We're somehow, how much time are we? Okay, 30 minutes. Okay, I think we're going good in terms of, let's see, here, yes. Here we can zoom a little bit more and start seeing the different curves, like of the neck, and start putting some more details. So this is maybe a little bit more inside. And still I'm measuring stuff, right? I'm not just drawing where I see the old lines, but I'm still measuring, right? Am I right here? Am I wrong? Like for example, this one could actually help me. I don't know if I'm gonna use it in the final, right, portrait, but this could help me with measurements and be close, right? This one should be somewhere, right? If you measure somewhere at here, here, so we are a little bit off here, right? And then like this, so the angle was different. And then we have this line which gets created by the shadow, and this one is again like in this vicinity. I think we are okay. Let's just measure it also in the same. Wow. Then we have the arm. I think this seems to be a little bit higher. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit higher. Yeah, and this was a little bit higher. Okay. Then we have the straight line, and then we go to the shoulder, right? I'm not going to draw it. It's just an indication of measurement. And then we come here, and the shoulder does this plane, right? And then we have this going a little bit more down. Make it a little bit more curved, and then we have curves here, and then we have this stuff here. Okay, then we can maybe flip a little bit just to see our portrait. Let's see here. Okay, we are fine. Right, maybe this should be a little bit, I think it's fine, this is fine. Let's just have, still I think this is like way too big in my opinion. Let's just get this one and pull all the stuff a little bit in, and then bring all the stuff a little bit like that. I'm just moving around stuff a little bit just to be on the safe side, right? And let's see now the jaw and the different shapes. All right, starting from here we have this. So now I'm mainly gonna be simplifying stuff. Ah, cool. Thanks. Thank you for joining. I'm gonna be simplifying this job because, like, you see, there are different lines. There's this line here, this line here, this line here. I just since I'm going a little bit more stylized, I'm gonna simplify stuff because, like, if you were doing realism, of course you wanna try to catch every detail as possible. But I think now for us it's just fine. The whole idea is we wanna take the pose, take the planes of the head, take the maybe the expression if it is there, and then just create something on our own, right? But I'm gonna make stuff a little bit more curvy, just to indicate that we are more like continuing this line, right? This is like a continuous line. Let's see if I like this one. Let me zoom a little bit on the line here. And we have this. And then we have this, which is the same line, right? And this, we have this corner here. This, I'm just doing shapes now without any thinking of what is an ear or what is the anatomy. And we have the jaw. And I'm gonna start here again, jump here, and just put the eyebrow at the moment. Let's start measuring. I think we are way too high here. Yes. Did we move something? I don't remember. Let's just do some measurements again. Okay, this is correct. This is correct. This nose is correct, right? Kind of. Should be here, but I think this one should be way lower, like this. Right? Yes. So this should be lower, but this is the, okay, this is correct, this is fine. And here we're gonna just measure the eyes, right, the eye area. And let's just do like one line here, what I see, let's see, this is way, and this is where we have the other one, and I'll just try to do a little bit of curve here, as you can see on her mouth at the moment. And this should be, this is also higher, kind of.
Anatomy is not mine because I think I know it. I think there's a comment for you.
Anatomy is not mine because I think I know it. Okay. Is it the question? Or maybe you can maybe elaborate on that if it's a question, because I don't quite understand what you're trying to say. So effectively what I'm trying to here to create is create the eye area. So the eye area should go like this, and this, right? And then again do some measurements on the eye area. So oops, so this area, so this one is way lower, is if I said correctly, here for hair, and just try to get the same perspective line as here, right? So I don't know if this is correct. Okay, this is correct, seems to be correct. And this is like on the mouth, a little bit further than the mouth. So we are doing, I think, great on that. Then we have the eye, like this area right here, maybe a little bit further away. So if we draw a line, from this, it should be here, which is the area that maybe a little bit higher, right? Sometimes Krita does some weird stuff like this, and then we create this. Okay, and then I'm trying to connect it with the eyebrow here, like this one. Again, the lines are not that heavy here, just to try to think this is way higher. I'm trying to just formulate the eye area here, right? So this is this one, this, right? And then we have going to the eyebrow. All right. So this would be her eye area, and this is her eyebrow area. All right. Then we have. We're gonna try to establish the eyebrows now to help us position the eyes. So the whole idea is we have, if we say that we have the part of the nose, the cartilage here, let's see what kind of lines do we see. So the cartilage is way lower, so we are gonna push it down, right? Because yes, of course, if we measure like that, then we have even more down, I think, the cartilage of the nose, because it would be somewhere like here, right? And this line here is going to the eyebrow, so it should be somewhere like here. Okay, that's correct. This is where the nose does this line. So if I do it like that and do it like that, that should be the line of the nose, like this, right? And then we have the nose doing something like going back inside, and this would be the tip of the nose. Let's see if we are correct on the tip. Even lower. Alright, and then this one should be maybe a little bit like this. And then we have this area, which is the eye, and this one, which is the other plane here, and that should be the start of the eyebrow, right? And we know the eyebrow top is here, and then a little bit like that is the other area. So let me just draw some lines, and then we'll just correct it, right? Let's see if this one is almost spot on. This one, sometimes it's okay. This one is a little bit lower, right? This is what I'm trying to measure. This one is a little bit lower. And where does it start? If you have a line here, it's almost at the same, right? It's almost at the middle, kind of. So it starts like this. So maybe a little bit further like that. This is the one of the eyebrows, right? And it stops here on the top, right? And then let's go for the other eyebrow. So it should start like this, and it starts a little bit higher than the other one. So maybe we draw a line like this, and let's see, right? It's ending at the corner of the nose, which is supposed to be here based on our measurements. And it's higher than the other one, that's correct, that's okay. And here it's much higher, I think. So this line is correct. This line, this spot here, it's incorrect. So maybe let's just I think it's much higher. I think that's the whole idea. Let's see this spot here. Okay, a little bit lower than that. So it's something like that. Then we have from this eyebrow pretty much having this connection for the nose, and then we're trying to now find out, right, where the eye should go. Let me just quickly finish what I was showing you about the nose also on Instagram, that it's like a diamond shape, that you can represent the nose like this, right? This one is like that. I think this should be lower. Let's see if this tip of the nose is like that. Okay, I think this should be lower, and like this. This is higher. This is like that, I think. Okay, and from a distance seems to be okay, kind of. And this other one is like that. Let's see if we are in the correct ballpark. Okay, and then we will just bring this one and this one here, and if we draw a line here, you see effectively the eye is starting a little bit further than this line, kind of. Let's draw a mark here and a mark here, which I see her eye is going like that in the perspective. And let's see if our marks are correct before we start. Okay, this is a little bit lower, but oops, and this mark is a little bit higher, so maybe this one should be like this and this one should be like that. These are the marks. And what I usually do for the eyes is I just do a small circle indicating, like if we see the circle of the eye, right, the circle should go from this side and this would indicate the eye, right? Of course it's in the eyebrow, because from this way that the camera is looking, the eyebrow is covering part of the eyeball, right? And then we have this kind of line, like this curved line, like this, indicating the upper eye, and then this kind of line indicating the lower eyelid, kind of. Then it seems to be correct. We are still in the structure phase, so it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be in the ballpark we want, in the perspective we want. Then we have from the eyebrow, we have this shadow here to help us, and the nose here is kind of, the eye starts on the left of this area, right? So if we have here, that should be somewhere around here. Let's just put it here, and if we have an imaginary line like this all stuff should be kind of aligned, right? Because we have like a ball which covering the eyes. So we have this and then we have the other outer eye, outer side of the eye going in here, so somewhere here. Maybe I'll do a mark here. Let's check our marks again, right? We have one mark here, okay, maybe a little bit lower, and this one is spot on, kind of. And then again, I'm just imagining the ball of the eye, which starts from here, which was this area, right, that we just said. And okay, doing the circle for the eye. All right, and then I'm doing this one, right? And the whole idea is like to catch the correct angles of the perspective. So the angle here is like something like that, right? This is where the biggest front plane of the eye exists, and this is where the top exists. So we are in the same angle, kind of, right? That's close enough. And here we have kind of this angle here, right? And maybe a little bit like that. And this one could be let's see, from this area, right? Then we have this curved line on the top of the skull, and this curved line, let's see, this one, right? This is starting kind of here, this curve. Then we have these planes, these planes, these planes, these planes, and we can do the nose now. So from this side here that we were, right, we're just going up like this. Oops. And then there's this one, this, let's see if we are correct, right? And then this one here, and we have these planes like this. So this is kind of a second level of structure. Then we can just go a little bit, again, erase stuff and just start doing more like features and all the stuff. And maybe also stylize at the same time, as we said. Right, the whole idea is we don't want to just create the same image as we see. Maybe I'll just zoom a little bit to get this line. Then we have this. And the idea I had, first of all, for her was that I wanted her to be like like a fairy, like, and that means that I want to push a little bit the ears, right, and just make her seem like a fairy. So this is what we will do with this ear. Just push it a little bit, like in this thumbnail I have on the left. Now we're going more into stylization, right? And we don't just see what we don't just draw what we see, but we're just pushing stuff around. Like this triangle, make it much larger, and then I will just start stylizing stuff. Then we have the eyebrows. I'm just gonna start pushing stuff around, right, and getting away from the sketch I have. And just pushing a little bit the angles, right? Just having this here. What are best exercises for drawing? Um, so that like depends on what kind of exercise you wanna what do you wanna practice, right? That means that if you wanna practice drawing lines, like your line quality, the the best exercises is to work on actually doing you know, straight lines, circles, repeated stuff, so you can have line quality. Like if you want to go now for something like anatomy, it's best to look at anatomy references and try to replicate them, right? Now, exactly as I said, like depends on what you wanna learn, pretty much.
Thank you.
And
Why would you thank you?
thank you. Thanks for the question. I'm gonna do a little bit this. Let's do also the the mouth, right? So the mouth, we have just a few planes to to be aware of, right? These planes, the upper planes and the lower planes. And here, let's see, just wanna follow the perspective, see if we are okay. A little bit lower. And it starts from somewhere like this, right? And I think this is the upper area, yes. And I think we are ready. I think we can also stylize even more when we come to the actual sketch. So I think for the base we are kind of okay, and now we can go on to. But maybe let's just. I just wanna push a little bit this eye a little bit towards the left and just push it like that. Oops, not so much. Like this. And just check if we are okay here. I think it's a little bit higher. Let's do some corrections. All right. So let's try now to get inspired from these leaves and start making this more like a fairy, right? Let's look at here and try to achieve some effects, right, that I have here from this different artists. I have also a hairstyle that I was thinking of using, right? And I have this different artists and how they incorporate, you know, flowers on the head and so on. So my idea was to do something like an S, right? Like as you see here on the thumbnail, like an S, and then have the pumpkin actually appear on the top. So let's just start with this S and to have it as a line of action, right? And based on that, we're gonna do some experimentation, right? And see what we come up with, right? So I want this S to be like that, and then have a pumpkin here to appear. I don't know if the commons was in the canvas is enough, and then I will just try to make them look as leaves, right? Okay, so I think the first thing we need to do is push the canvas a little bit higher so we can have some more space here, and maybe a little bit also like this, and based on what we have, try to sketch a bunch of stuff, right? So I see the first thing I saw was this leaf here, which I think I really like the line of action, right? That's why I made also put it here, and this is like a leaf where it's a pumpkin leaf, and we can try to get its shape, right? And then based on that, try to see. So here's where the fun starts, right? Effectively, kind of. So we have this leaf, right? Then we have these lines. All right, and then I wanna paste on that. If this is the hair here that we see on this side, Right, I want to create this feeling that there are other leaves coming in, having in mind that hairline is somewhere like here, right? So I think that we should have a lot more leaves coming down like this and representing other leaves. Let's just make some of them smaller, some of them bigger. Let's do a small one here. This at the moment is just indications like on what we want to do. And I see other stuff coming from this side. Maybe this will be this kind of stuff here, right? Like this, this small things like this, right? And this could be another one here. And here I'm gonna put this a bigger leaf like here. Oops. Like this one. But maybe I will just mirror it. So it could start like having a leaf like this. Have a leaf like that. Right. Starts from here. And this one could be like that. Following this S line. And we could have this one appear like this, and this is where the different here we have, it could have something like that, right? And then we have the pumpkins, and we have based also on our, we have the pumpkin here. Pumpkin here, right? And then we have also, we could have leaves appearing from behind, like that, and then have other here. That's one idea, but I think maybe this could be even larger. This here, let's just push it a little bit larger, so it's more like, it appears more like coming from this and covering over the ear, right? And this side, just make it a little bit smaller, just to have this like this, right? Maybe let's just start it a little bit lower, right? And have the leaves like this, so starting from here. And here, right? So there are more. So I know it's a very messy at the moment, but it will make sense a little bit. So I'm thinking this kind of hairstyle for here, and then of course maybe we could have leaves starting at here, hands here, right? This one, or this one, this one, or this one. This is a pumpkin, maybe it's just this one. So that's a kind of a rough of a sketch I'm thinking about.
This is a comment.
I'm adding some stuff, of course, to explain my thoughts right around this. But I would usually go much faster to the sketch, right? This is the whole idea. But I'm trying to explain a little bit more so you can understand what I'm doing and how I'm thinking. So if you wanna, either follow along or, for example, try to do it by yourselves, then you can. You can do it effectively. It's easier for you to do it by yourselves if you want to in the future, right? This is what I'm thinking here. And let me try now to make it a little bit more with more details, right? And try to start building on the leaves as we have. So I think the best way to do it is just maybe start from the inside and have this come in here, right? So have the something like the root coming here of one, would come in here and make it look like hair, and then somehow ending up being a leaf, right? So there we have this. So we have the root and we have see if I want to have it like that, right? I have this, I have this, I wanna push something more down, like 5 thing, and then something more here. Then I have, so this should be like this. And this comes here. And then this goes in this one. And then has all the stuff here, right? And I think it can come like this. And then end up here. So this is the first leaf, like, and this is here, and then this one could come even like this, and then have this. So it could be like this one, and then we have maybe this comes from this one, and this goes, and we have another one coming here, that is just behind this one, and then it's just going up again, right? And then maybe it actually covers here, right? And this is this side, kind of, I'm thinking. This is another one. Then we have one maybe let's make a smaller one here, right, which is break a little bit the flow, and just let's say this is above everything else, because we need to have a little bit of interest, right? Leaves coming out of inside her hair or outside her hair, and also this kind of stuff, right? Bigger and smaller.
Here is important.
So we're just drawing and then deleting above. Okay, this is like maybe not so much here. Like this. And from this one we should have something like starting like this, and maybe there is a smaller leaf here. And we have other ones, indication that there are some other leaves starting, right? Here, and let's indicate some more hair here. All right, and we have this, right? We have like this, and we have here, we can have smaller leaves coming here, like let's say like a leaf like comes like this, and we have this, 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 and this, right? And we have this. So the whole idea is like I'm trying to create a flow on every leaf, right? That it's actually going towards the biggest leaves.
So you go with the flow?
I go with the flow, exactly. And then we come to this one, which is more like starts like this, right? And then we have this line here, this line here, and this. We can make it a little bit, correct it a little bit better. Let's transform this just to see it a little bit better. And we have, oops, wrong brush, right? This is one, this is second, and this is third. And of course you can have leaves going on top of it, right? You want to indicate like the more perception that there is a lot of leaves coming out of your head, the better it will be, like looking like a hair, right? Instead of just leaves on top of your hair. Then we can do some leaves coming from here. Like making the pumpkin all around the pumpkin, and then we have the pumpkin, right? And we create that. And what we can also do is try to make a little bit look here as more like a creature, right? And then try to change stuff on the underlined sketch. So I'm just gonna duplicate that and just also duplicate that, because we may know, maybe want to go back, but just merge these two now together and trying to make of it as one sketch, right? So let me delete some stuff here. Have some leaves coming also from the other side, right? And we said we're gonna have a lot of stuff going down, and here, right, instead of simple things here, we can just start making it like a more like a creature, looking like a creature. I'm just trying out different ideas now. I don't know if this is gonna look okay or if it's gonna, I'm gonna just delete it, but let's see. I don't know how this looks. What do you think? Yes, something like that. I don't know. Do you think it's good?
Can I write?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. I mean, they usually don't use it in the paintings I have.
Yeah, usually the eyebrows are a bit more up, going up.
Maybe, okay, maybe we should push them up, yes. Maybe we should push them up, I see. Let's go back and try to push them up. And try to make them like this. Something like that.
It looks more pretty and creaturey also.
Then I think I would simplify a little bit the nose and make it a little bit smaller. It's just my kind of personal style. Let's call it like that. And try to push the mouse a little bit. Just trying to push the mouth a little bit and make it more alright, and maybe we should just push it a little bit upper. This is some things I do personally and I like, right? Like you don't have to do them. You can just stick to the reference and do something else that you like. Then we have maybe let's just use another leaf here. I think I like the idea of doing a leaf here like that, right? Then we have this. I think this one should be like that. And then we can have something like a leaf coming from here. And that means we need to maybe make the canvas a little bit bigger so it's not like so claustrophobic. So effectively, now the rough sketch is done, right? Mainly. Let me do some indications on the neck here, right? And on these areas. And then we can do like house like that. I like this because it's closer to what we want to do, right? And then this would be right. I have this. And we have this. Oops. Let's just delete a few stuff here. Whoops. Wrong brush it is. Alright, that's... Whoop. I think that we are there, kind of. Right where we wanted, and this is where we can start having different roots coming in. I don't know if we should put any flowers here, but I think that would be too much. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
Where?
If we should put this kind of flowers anywhere, what do you think? Or this should be a flower? I don't know. Maybe you wanna tell it. Maybe you wanna tell us on the in the chat. And should we try to put any flowers on the hands or sorry, on the arms or on the head, or do you think it's gonna be too much? And I don't know about this. I think this should be. I think we should just try to make it a little bit smaller and just try to make it. Put it there.
But if you have like on the pumpkin orange and the other leaves are green, maybe we can put one or two for these little ones.
And this, what is this line doing here?
I like the
Which one did you like?
bottom,
The bottom one.
so you can make them small.
So it's like where should I put it? I don't know.
But let the chat also type
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the opinion, what do they think.
Just try to. Maybe I just also make the eyes a little bit bigger. This usually helps with the mystical thing. Mystical things of stuff. Let's make them a little bit bigger. Let's just do it a little bit bigger so it can help with the mystical things of stuff. I don't know if it helps. I think that's. I think something is needed here, right?
In her bosom.
No,
Where?
here. What's that? Okay, maybe. So what do you think? I think this should be the sketch. Do you like it?
Yes.
Should we change anything? Any ideas? I think we still have half an hour, so we can try out some ideas if you want. I don't know about this. I think this would be like should be something like this is the big one. Let's see the neck. just an indication on the neck, maybe a little bit lower. I don't know.
But
What? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's quite okay to stop here, in my opinion. Maybe let's just try to do it a little bit better. And this could be, I think this could be even bigger. I like one to be extremely big somehow, like this. So it's more high. You know, like the old hats they used to wear with the thing here, right?
the cloth. I don't like it.
Yeah. For shadows and rendering, I think because we already 1 hour and a half, right? My idea is to do another live on Sunday, where I will go through the whole painting process, right, of this one, and and then you can see how we can add the shadows, how we can add light, and how we can make it appear more like the final result we're looking for. But effectively, what we are gonna do for shadows is add a mid-tone, right? But imagine that would be with color, right? Not like that. We add a mid-tone here on our portrait, and then based also on the lighting that we have from the um, from the from the reference, which is one light here and one light coming from this right side. So there is one light coming from this side and one green light coming from here. So we will do something very, very similar, right? We will try and do an overlay layer for the main light, where we would just go through all the different areas, like your nose, right, as you see, here and here, chest, right? You see all the areas are in this light, right? And this area of your neck are in this light, and this one also is in the light, and this one also is in the light, and also this one is in the light. When we have all the stuff and we have all the light areas, then already it's looking kind of 3D. Then we will go with a multiplier layer and do the shadows, right? Which could be from the left side, right? The shadows, sorry. From the left side, we'll go from the left side, doing all the shadows, pretty much. All this area would be in shadow, all this area would be in shadow, all these areas would be in shadow. And when we are done, then we will do a final kind of rim light, which is the green one here. I don't know if it's gonna be green or we're gonna choose another color based on the colors that we're gonna choose. And we will just treat it as a rim light, right? So all the stuff are gonna have a rim light. Here the nose is gonna have a rim light. This is gonna have a rim light, and so on. And this would be the kind of the final result. But I'm thinking now, like, If we want to go into painting and doing rendering and all the stuff, it will take at least a couple of hours, maybe even more. And I think it's best if we kind of stop here on the sketch, right? And then continue on all the stuff on Sunday. That's my whole idea. So it's gonna be a two-part kind of thing, or else we're gonna have like a 5-hour live here, which I don't think I will be able to do it. It will be extremely tiresome for me. Yeah. So I think this is a good result at the moment, in my opinion. Like I will try to clean it up a little bit until Sunday, and also on Sunday we will do the rest of it, right? So painting, shadows, lights. I will explain what I'm doing step by step, which layers I'm using, and also rendering and so on. Okay? All right. So if you have any other questions, guys, let me know in the chat. I think in terms of sketching, we are done. I'm just gonna stay for another 5-10 minutes with you if you have any questions. Then if not, I'm gonna just leave you to also enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see each other again on Sunday. I hope you liked it.
You wanna put the flowers?
No, I think that would be too much if I put flowers.
Okay.
I think there is already enough stuff to draw here. But we will see also on the painting. Like on the painting process, it doesn't mean the concept is done. It can be that we realize in painting that we wanna change the shapes, right? I don't know, change the eyes or change add flowers in areas maybe that they don't have too much detail. I wanna put more detail. We'll have to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see you. Bye.
Thank you.
I'm glad you found it very interesting. Thank you for joining, MC. All right. It seems that no questions are coming.
Mm-hmm.
That means we can actually leave everybody get on with their day and enjoy their day, the rest of the day. For those who are just of the start of the day, enjoy the rest of the day. For those like us here, we are kind of an end of our day. I wish you a great evening, guys. And I will see you again on Sunday. I will post on my Instagram again the hour, exactly where we're going the next part, right? The part 2 on Sunday. And yeah, thank you very much for joining, and see you on Sunday. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.